So this is a fun topic for me, right? When you are wronged, when you have been, in your eyes, illegally let go or deactivated, right? Or if you feel violated, or if they owe you a lot of money, and we're talking Uber and Lyft here, let me tell you that the little guy can always fight back. And I would say since 1999, call it 19, 20 years, my record in small claims court now is 15 out of 15. 15 filings, 15 wins, right? And some bigger, some smaller, knowing that the maximum amount you can go after in small claims court is $10,000. Now, anytime you've been wronged, and I started coaching people on how to get their money back. And again, all of those individuals have come back to me and said, hey, we got a judgment against Uber. Now, my warning here to Uber, and I hope that maybe some manager, some Los Angeles management, or someone in San Francisco is listening in. When you screw these drivers over, Uber or Lyft, right? Understand that most of the times they don't have the means or even know how to fight back, and they generally walk away upset, frustrated, and very angry, right? It is my duty as a voice for drivers to show these individuals how to collect from you, how to collect from Uber, how to collect from Lyft. Now, I went out, and in my particular case, there were several issues that I had with Uber and Lyft. I brought them up. They did not want to address them. In fact, if you remember, they physically walked me out the hub at the one time. And I said, fine, I will see you in court. And if need be, I'll see you in arbitration. Now, the arbitration forms are these. They're 2 pages. I'm going to read a little bit to you from these forms. I'm going to put the links below. But most of the stuff, my friends, you get done with this form called the SC100. And that may differ from state to state. I'm using California as an example. You just put in small claims court forms, California, or Los Angeles, or your state, Florida, whatever it may be. And when you Google that, it'll take you to the page, and these are usually PDFs, right? So behind me, you see here how to fill out your papers. It's really not difficult, right? They'll go notice to the person being sued. It's also in 2 languages, in English and in Spanish, right? And then, the plaintiff, that being you, right? If there's more than one plaintiff, usually not, because you're the driver. So you fill that out. The defendant, and in this case, them, right? The company, the address. And I would just go and have a third party, a friend. Don't spend $100 or $150 on what they call like filing fees or service fees, where you have to pay a company to go and deliver these papers, right? Get a friend, someone over 18 who's a resident in that state, a friend of yours, just to march in and slap these papers down on the desk and say, you've been served, and you walk out. And then you actually get a form, which is part of this package, which is called Proof of Service, POS, right? And then you fill out the name of the individual, of your friend, has to be a third party, has to be over 18 years old, has to reside in that state. And that's it. They've been served. You now get a date from the courts. You have to actually also physically tell the hub, hey, you owe me $9,000 or $600, and this is why, right? And that's number 3. The plaintiff claims the defendant owes X amount of dollars. Explain. Why does the defendant owe the plaintiff money? When did this happen? If no specific date, give the time period, right? Like in my scenario, I have a long time period that goes over a couple of years, right? How did you calculate the money owed to you, right? Now, the bottom line is many times it'll just cost them too much money to send an attorney. And if something is like from $100 to $600, could be a dispute over a long fare that they did not pay out, right? Could be a wrongful termination, right? Where a rider or a passenger made some false accusations. Let's say they said you were under the influence of alcohol, right? And they never took a test, but they just deactivated you. Now, from the moment you were deactivated to the point where the judge says, yes, this was a wrongful termination until you get reactivated. And I've had drivers report back to me, hey, I'm back online because of what you said, right? So this works, folks. You calculate your losses based on an average, right? Maybe a 2-3 week period where you were offline, and you go after that because you could have been working. Those are monies you could have been earning. So bring the fight to Uber. And what I always warned Uber and Lyft, if they want to F around with my accounts, right, after making them millions and millions and millions of dollars from all the drivers that I've sent them, right? They've never paid out any international drivers. They've just paid out US referrals. Some of my drivers that I've referred have done 15 to 20,000 trips for Uber and Lyft, right? And when you start holding a person's money, in my case, when they start holding my monies and are not paying out, but are greedily taking, I fight back. And guess what? I teach thousands and thousands. This is what gives me the joy. I teach thousands and thousands of drivers how to fight back, how to have a voice, how to collect, how to get a judgment against Uber. And you start with these little papers here, just a couple of pages, 5 pages that you print out, easy to fill out, right? And you tell them what they owe you, right? You must ask the defendant in person, in writing, or by phone to pay you before you sue. If your claim is for possession of property, you must ask the defendant to give you the property. Have you done this? Yes, I've done this. I sent a letter, or I called them on this and this date, blah, blah, blah. Why are you filing your claim at this courthouse? It's where the defendant lives or does business. Could be in LA, where the plaintiff's property was damaged. You, the plaintiff, where the plaintiff was injured, where the buyer or lessee signed a contract, right? So there's various reasons why you're filing this document in a specific court case. For example, is it the Santa Monica courthouse, or is it the West LA courthouse, or is it the Van Nuys courthouse, or is it the Ventura courthouse, or is it the Los Angeles courthouse on Hill Street, right? So there's many reasons you could file in that specific district. You have to tell them why, right? List the zip code of the place checked in 5 above, right? So if you were doing business there, or if the defendant's there, or the plaintiff, you got to put the zip code. Is your claim about an attorney-client fee dispute? No, you're not fighting an attorney, you're fighting a company. Are you suing a public entity? If yes, you must file a written claim with the entity first, right? Have you filed more than 12 other small claims within the last 12 months in California? Is your claim for more than $2,500? Yes or no? I understand that by filing a claim in small claims court, I have no right to appeal this claim. And then you sign, and you get it served, and you get a court date. Now, very often, like I said, these people don't show up, and you get a judgment against Uber and Lyft, and they have 30 days to pay. The other route is, if you did not opt out, let's say something's over $10,000, right? You're no longer in the small claims court field. You can go to arbitration, and I'll leave you the link at the bottom. Request for arbitrator, select list and appointment, right? You want an appointment there. Requesting parties, nature of the business, parties, representative's name, the firm organization name, which would be Uber, blah, 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 the date, what type of case is it, commercial, construction, employment, the number of arbitrators to be provided on the list, a desired qualifications for arbitrators. Do they have to have any specific qualifications when they arbitrate this case? Additional case information, dollar amount of claim. I can tell you that my dollar amount is high six figures, right? Nature of dispute, blah, blah, blah. And you go and file it, and you get a date, and you get a pretty quick resolution on these type of things. Now, in these arbitrations, you can't really go after punitive damages. You also obviously have an option of joining other ongoing class action lawsuits, right? Provided that you opted out of this arbitration clause, right? If you did not opt out, you have to go through arbitration. And then these two forms, again, I'll put the link for you down there or below. So to recap, under $10,000, always go after them. In small claims court, always stand up for yourself. The likelihood of them showing up is very small. The likelihood of you winning is very, very high. If it's over $10,000, you can go the superior court route, right, where you'll probably be paying $400 filing fees, and you'd have to get yourself an attorney, which could cost a lot of money. I would not advise doing it in persona, representing yourself in superior court. I wouldn't do that, right? If you want fast results and you did not opt out of the arbitration clause, get yourself an arbitrator. It is very, very easy to file this arbitration paper, to send it in, to fill it out online, to get the process going, to pay a nominal fee, no high fee, and then go in and represent your case and your argument and your damages, right? And the very best of luck to you. And do feel free to reach out, right? I can always connect you with attorneys. I will definitely connect you with the links that will start helping you go in the right direction. But this is my request to you, right? You're on my channel, you're watching my videos, you may be one of my subscribers. If you're not, please do subscribe. I have your back, and I care that they treat you well and pay you well. And the monies that they have not been paying you or that they still owe you, fight for them. And the wrongful deactivations or wrongful terminations or fabrications by passengers, stand up for yourself, because Uber and Lyft can never wrongfully terminate you based on some stupid fabricated story that the passenger has made up. Fight for your rights. Fight for your money. I've got your back. Rideshare Professor.